Welcome back to the Abundant Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, Ali Banks. And on my platform, what I like to do is I like to bridge the gap from what the everyday person doesn't know, bring an entrepreneur on my platform for any specific field, just so you guys can get where they are a little bit further. So today I got my boy Biggz with me, an engineer, born in Baltimore, Maryland, but was brought up out here, right here in the 757.
For sure.
He done work with artists like Lil TJ, G Herbo, was recently on his last project, the Phazoland joint. I thought that was pretty cool, obviously for me being from Chicago. But I don't want to take up too much time. This was definitely an over-anticipated interview. I'm going to let my boy Biggz go ahead and say who he is, just give y'all a slight intro, and then we're going to get into the interview.
Yo, it's your boy Biggz, man, and I appreciate you having me, bro. Like,
so, yeah.
It's gonna be a dope experience. You feel me?
Sure, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man. So how we get right into what inspired you to be an engineer, bro? And how did that start? You had a family member who was into music?
Nah, I do have family members that's into music, but I wasn't too much raised around them to catch that bug. But to be an engineer, it started from going to a studio because I was producing first, and me and my boy Dallas, my boy Wax, we all went to this studio. The dude didn't do so good. He didn't do the record so good, so we came back. We had drove the bus all the way out Virginia Beach from Ocean View,
chasing a dream,
and then we caught a ride back. That jump was crazy, yeah. And I was just like, bro, I'm gonna figure out how to do this ourselves. Like, I'm already recording and I mean, not recording, but producing at FL, and I was using Acid Pro, I think Acid Pro 4 to chop up samples, and I found out I could record in it. So
you was like, we already
got
I
was like, I'm gonna figure this out.
Just figure this out. We already halfway there, because obviously if you can find, y'all sound, you can figure it out. So there, that's when you really start pit I got an ear for this.
Yeah, I was like 15, 16, and I was just like, yo, because we was going to studios out in our neighborhood and stuff, like little people houses and stuff.
Yeah. No, that's how it started, man, because I remember being in Washington, because I used to make music a little bit, but I had got behind the camera. It's crazy, because I was it was a similar story. It's the KJ, T-Roy, they needed visuals, and they kept paying people for. I'm like, bro, I could do this, bro. We in the studio. I'm just here for real. So I'm like, let me learn how to do it, bro. And that's what happened. So
snap.
And that's really how it happened. I was just one day, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna be the cameraman.
Yeah, bro. That's how it come out. It's like, damn.
Yeah, and then man, I instantly knew dang, you good at this, instantly, instantly. So that was pretty cool, man. So how important has God been on your journey, man? Because I know we was previously talking about just any adversity that be coming. You get to a new level, it's challenges. You might want to give up, man.
Yeah, nah, God is number one for real. I was talking to God on my way over here this morning.
For sure.
I always try to chop it up with God, bro, because, you can't really just tell everybody everything because nobody really understand your whole story. So
no, for sure.
You kind of got to just talk to God, talk to yourself, and y'all, get right.
For sure, because I that's important what you said too, because you can be around a lot of people that you love a lot and they love you, but the advice that they giving you is all out of fear. They like, man, I know you struggling with this music stuff right now. I see the vision, but why don't you just go back and get a job right now, son? You know what I mean? You get them people around you, and it's all out of love. So like you saying,
I definitely had that.
And now everybody look up. Now they like, man, I'm glad you listened to. You was listening to God, man. That's why that's super important, man.
Yeah, man, got to, bro. I always kind of kept God first through my travels. Even when I was didn't understand stuff, I would just ask God a question and open the Bible, put my finger down, start reading. Yeah. And he'd give me the answers, you know what I'm saying? And that was since I was 16, 17.
That's good. So was that grounded in you at home, your parents?
Yeah, I grew up Catholic.
Okay.
From my grandma, so she kept me in church at St. Pius all the time. I was able to meet Mother Teresa too. She got to lay hands on me and all that. Yeah, bro.
Hey, bro.
That was different.
Hey, bro, you gifted, bro.
Thank you.
You start seeing your superpowers at an early age, and I just be thinking back to when I was younger, because around the MySpace, the tag era, they had this thing where people wanted their pictures edited. And then I had went and learned how to use Photoshop when I was in 5th grade.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, bro. I still had the pictures on my Facebook. I was taking celebrity pictures and customizing them, editing them, and people was paying me to do their profile pictures. This was back, bro. I love the internet. I love the internet. And then for me to be a photographer in this space, That was God planting those small seeds, bro.
Fire. That's wild.
A lot of people don't know that. I'm gonna put some of the pictures in this clip when I do it so people can see. But everybody knows like a little thing in Chicago at the time where everybody's editing. I'm like, man, I'm gonna learn how to do that. That look pretty cool. So I just jumped right into it, man.
You found a hustle in it. You know what I mean? You just repeat your hustle, bro. You had the passion and the hustle.
Nah, for sure. So, man, how long have you been doing this since you was 14 years old? So you've been in the industry for a long time, man.
Since 14, I wouldn't say I was in the industry at 14 because like 14, I was figuring it out, but like just really getting into it and doing it full time since I was like 18.
Okay, for sure.
So like from 14 to 18, I was just trying to figure it out. And at 18, I was in college, all of this stuff, and then I got some opportunities and. You know, I just was like, I'm going to do this full time. Like, I ain't going to have no job. I can't work for nobody. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't feel right.
Man, I be having the same feeling. When I left the Navy, I was like, man, I'm going to do whatever I have to do, go to school, whatever I got to do to make sure that I got the time freedom to, like, chase my dream. Because that's, like, super important. That's one thing I saw, like, you don't get no time back. So you got to make sure that you doing something with that time because a year gonna pass regardless.
Yeah,
a year gonna pass, so you might as well be doing at least something.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Even if it's just a little or something, you know.
You might as well be doing something different because the year is gonna come anyway, man. So how have you been able to sustain your name in this industry so long, bro, and it's steadily growing? Because you hear people come, they go, or his name was hot then, man. How have you been able to?
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not perfect, bro.
No,
like,
for sure.
This is because I've been through a lot. Me and my boy Jay Slash was talking about that. Like, you got to go through a lot of pain to really be humble in this game. You know what I mean? And really have that mindset. So, like, just going through so much and understanding, like, okay, this is not how this works. Or, you know, you can't be cocky during this time. Or you can't show this. Or, you know what I mean?
Just learning.
Just a lot of learning. Staying humble, bro. Yes, because when I was young, so I'm a young man trying to figure out how to be a grown man, how to love myself, how to go to school, how to follow my dream, you know, and this is no YouTube, so it's not like you can just go to YouTube and type
look up
in
some
like
motivational videos.
You
we
know
got
what
a lot
mean?
at our fingertips now, man. It's crazy.
Bro, people wasn't so like helpful with that whole process, which, you know, God bless me because now it just helped me teach people moving forward, you know.
Got you. So that brings me to my next question. So you know, a lot of people, man, they get into things, they want to do everything by themselves. How important is having a team, and how important has a team been for you, bro?
A team is important. Any like project I put together or that I want to do, I'm gonna build a team.
Got you.
You know, like how you met us at Prime, we was all a team. That was a project I put together with me and my sister. We did a studio, and my boy, he like my big brother, Mr. Darren. He the one, you know what I mean? He believed in me, and that's a whole nother chapter in my life. But you know, so like, and we put together a strong team. When we was talking about Mouye, we had Trees over there. It was a whole journey. Jace was over there. Lil. It was a lot. We grew like Mark B. It was a lot of us, bro. Everybody. Man. You know, and it's important, bro, because everybody just work their job and just do what they need to do and get it done. And, you know, you chilling and creating outside of that. You know?
And a lot of stuff get done a lot faster, I would say, like if you got a team. Because that's what I'm working on building, just a team behind me. Because I'm a one-man band, but I see like you'll burn out really fast trying to do everything by yourself. Yeah. When you spread the love throughout people, for sure, because a lot of people be trying to keep all the information to themselves. So they like, I ain't going to really create no team. But that's where I see the most success coming from, with people with a team.
You got to have a team, bro. And it's not so much like a team for everything. Like, you have to run yourself first and understand what things you need for a team before you build a team. Because if you just having people like, I want a manager because I need opportunities, that's not what the manager's. The manager is to manage you as an artist, the things that you already have going on. So it's like you think about stuff like that and you're like, all right, let me take a step back. What do I need a team for, and what can they do, and what can I do myself? Is it something I could, you know, set in my calendar and set time aside to do this, or
am I being lazy, or do I really need a team?
Right.
Because I be having to check that myself at the door like that too. Are you doing enough by yourself right now, or you? And
most of the time, bro, like you like. It's on, like, when you have a project and you're the head of a project, it's mainly you and maybe one other person that's putting stuff together. The rest of it is everybody else carrying out the plan that you came up with.
Right, got you.
So as long as you play your position and the person who's helping you or the team you got is helping you, everybody else is going to follow suit. So you always got to have those goals and, you know, be able to do certain things for them and keep that in mind, you know?
Yeah, keep the vision for your team. I think that's important too. Keeping it, like, letting them know, like, man, we all come together. It's going to get this result. Yeah. And they trust you. That's why it's good to be, like, good to people, because they like, man, I don't even know if this gonna even go this way, but I'm gonna just listen to Biggz because bro been looking out.
and that's how it go. And it took me a while to learn that and really understand that, because that's a whole nother level
of leadership.
You know. And it's like once you realize it, because like I said, I'm not perfect, so it's not like I did. Like, I just never messed up, you know what I mean, or never did somebody wrong, or
no, for sure.
And it don't be intentional stuff, but it's just stuff you just don't see along the process. You're like, damn, I fucked up, but you try to make it right. You know what I mean? You try to make it right. If you can't, some things you can, some you can't. But you got to keep moving forward with it. But once you learn those things, you're like, oh, okay.
No, for sure. And I'd rather work with somebody who honestly said, bro, I messed up, than somebody who trying to hide the mistake. Like, you ain't mess up. Like, I see your man in your word just learning. We all figuring it out. That's when you get a bad name for yourself. Like, he still think I don't know. Like, nah, bro, you can't be
bro. And it'd be like, dang, it don't even have to be all like of this. That. Just claim your mistake, you know?
That's one thing that I stress to my son. I'm like, bro, like, you gonna make a decision, either do, if it's bad or good, son, just take what come with it. You decided to do it, go ahead and take what come with it. That's something I like to apply to business as well.
That's a good thing to teach. I'm gonna tell my son that same thing.
Because I knew I got into a lot of trouble growing up, but you know, they was telling me not to, but at the end of the day, I made them decisions, and they came with what they came with. So I tell them now, like, hey, you can go do it. But it's definitely, you're gonna have to take whatever come with it, good or bad. So it's the same in business. It's the same in business with being with people. Because like when I did was with the life insurance thing, man, one thing that I was focused on was making a whole lot of money right now. I'm like, I need the money. Like, I didn't care who was in the way. I seen dollar signs, and then I learned through that. Like, my team started to lead. They was complaining about how I led. I'm like, man, I can't really be leading like this. This can't be. I'm bringing this dictatorship I learned from the Navy, trying to put it in entrepreneurship, and the business and entrepreneur, they don't mix.
Yeah, that's a different ball game, bro. You right though. That's real.
Definitely learning people, man, was definitely important. So I want you to talk about the group that you made when you came from Baltimore, and then you made this. So what inspired that?
Okay,
man?
So all right, so that's the Norfolk Street team.
The Norfolk Street team, for sure.
When I came to Virginia Beach, shout out to my boy 2- and J Black, and rest in peace my cousin Tony.
For sure.
They were like our mentors, basically. So 2- taught me beats and that side of things. J Black was teaching my cousin Tony. And they had their group was called The Team. They went to Salem High School, and they had like this group called The Team. So that was like our squad.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So when I moved to Norfolk, I asked him. I said, "Bro, can I carry what we did?" Because I always been about being a part of a team and carrying what we did and just building more. You know.
No, for sure. So yeah. Keep that legacy going. Why not?
Yeah, that's how I looked at it. Yep. So that's why I went to Norfolk. When I moved to Norfolk, me, my boy Wax, Dallas. My boy Don, we all started this group called the Norfolk Street Team, and my boy Tony, he was a part of us too, because he came from out the beach with us, with me and stuff. But and then that just turned into
said y'all ended up going on tour with it, right?
No, we went on tour. I started that when I started Major Movement. Movement.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
That's when I started my record label. I was about 18, 19, or maybe 16, 17. Because Norfolk Street Team, that was more like 14, 15, then to move to Major Movement. And that was with my boy Intense, my brother Intense. He had a group, and then my boy Fresh, he had a group, and my brother Heron, he had a group. So we all four, like, all got together, and then I ended up being like the person keeping everything moving and shaking.
Because the business side of things, keeping it
Heron
moving.
was like the streets. My boy Intense was like the marketing, and then like Fresh was like, he was always fresh. Like, he just was always dressed.
You know what I'm saying?
So
everybody played their part.
His team was like the cool kids. They was older than us, so it was like we was just putting it together in my grandma's house. And then from there, we started Major Movement. And then that's when we started doing our own tours and having people open up.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
It eventually became I had a person in each one of the 7 cities, who had their own record labels, and they were underneath a Major Movement. So I was like the major label, and then they had subsidiary labels, and then they was doing their artists. So like, I would have meetings in front of my crib, and the police thought it was a gang meeting.
It's just that many people.
Yeah,
That's dope.
And
man.
I was selling drugs back then, all of that shit. Like, not no big time, but
yeah.
the police thought I was. They came and raided my house when I was at a show one night at the Peppermint Beach Club.
That's crazy.
That's what made me like go full fledged with the music. I was like,
yeah, I can't be doing this.
Yeah,
one
I can't
foot in,
keep
one
fucking
foot out. It's gonna ruin everything I'm trying to build.
You feel me?
No, for sure. That's definitely a lesson right there.
Yeah, bro. That was like my first major lesson, like, of that caliber. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Shit got really real.
No, yeah, when life happened, you be like, no, it can't happen to me. I think that's what really, you wake up, you go into a whole nother dimension in your mind. You like, all right, let me dial it back. Cause man, so it just seemed like, bro, you always had that vision. Like at a young age, you talking about 14, 15, 16, when most people like, I'd rather be at a party, I'm ready to chase some girls around. It seemed like you was been consistent since you was 14 years old, just like trying to build. If it
I was getting busy too though, like that, because I was in the clubs early,
so I guess that
all of that shit came with the lifestyle. So it was just like, all right, we in here.
Did you ever get to a point where you started to get like big headed or whatever, like towards, because you like, man, I'm 18, 19, I really got it going on.
Yeah, you feel you. That's what I'm saying. You start learning like,
it ain't all that.
Yeah, every time you start getting big headed, you gonna run into some roadblocks. You like, fuck. See, this why I don't even act like this, man. You be trying to get comfortable, you be like, all right, we the shit, but nah.
Yeah.
Just it's ways you could celebrate and still be humble. That's what I learned, you know. No, you don't have to like be humble and not show, not let your light shine either. You can be humble and still let your light shine.
No, right there in the middle where you're not too low or too high.
And be happy for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, it's gonna throw you off mentally. You know?
Because it come with a little bit of arrogance, and it's not even me for. I'm just really just trying to pop it real quick, but it ain't. I don't even.
You deserve to celebrate yourself too.
No, you do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely like one person that like you need to celebrate the small wins.
Yeah,
he'll be bashing people tomorrow. I just got my LLC. That's good. Clap it up for him, man. That's a step in the right direction.
Yep. But when you start getting braggadocious, see, I done known some people that got braggadocious and they end well. You know what I mean? So
man, God gonna humble
like
you, bro. That's what it is. Yeah, just like other people's experiences, it most definitely will.
Yeah, bro.
Because I got real high, big headed. You know what I'm saying? When my podcast first started, but then you know what I'm saying? I ran into something with God, man. I went through another depression phase, and I'm like, bro, it's because you're getting big headed, bro. Like you supposed to be using this podcast to serve God and using it to serve yourself. You getting a little attention and you think that's all you. That don't have nothing to do with you.
Yeah, God will humble you fast. That's real, bro.
Nah, he humbled me fast. He'll let you know, like, man, I made that podcast. What you talking about?
And you'll be the only one knowing that you even going through all of that. Like nobody else knows you. That's what's going on.
Yeah. It be them days where you want to be to yourself. You really thinking like, man, I messed up. Yeah, I need to get back. But I was just in church today, and the pastor was talking about how when you hit those low points, though, it propel you. That's what he propelling you for, like the bigger heights. Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like I think I want all the money right now. I think all my efforts. I think I deserve $1 million right now. But if realistically, I had $1 million, I probably would blow through it. To be honest, because first your eyes get big. Oh man, I've been wanting to get this, and this. So he like, all right, I'm gonna keep you broke for a little bit so you can know what it feels like to work. You know what I'm saying? You mess up your little money, I'm gonna have you starving for a couple days. I'm gonna make sure you good. But just know when you become this millionaire, all right, now you know, all right, I can't even mess around with my money playing with it. I gotta make sure it's doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm like, bro, you wanna be a business owner, you gotta most definitely take care of your back office, the finances. We see all the work go, but
yeah, bro, that's something you just keep learning unless you got like a financial advisor, you know, then they help you, guide your way through.
Because dealing with a bunch of people, bro, what's like, how do you deal with like the emotions of having people around you all the time when maybe it just ain't going right? Maybe it's an engineer in your position. They like, man, I got a team, but it really just ain't working out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not seeing eye to eye. What do you do during times like that?
When my whole team not seeing eye to eye?
It's like the project, maybe it's a deadline.
We sit down and have a meeting and figure it out and be like, all right, what's important? Start reorganizing the priorities. And then, you know, because you kind of get the emotions out the way and figure out, all right, what we got to do to get the goal right. Once we figure that out, then we start dealing with the emotions. We might go out to eat or something and just kick it and talk, you know what I mean? And then, you know, do it like that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because you can't ignore either side, and the job got to get done. So if we could put our emotions to the side, get the job done, then we could talk about it later, you know.
Yeah,
as long as it ain't nothing crazy, like
game.
no super disrespect.
Yeah,
but yeah.
That's game though. That's game because you know a lot of people like, man, y'all be emotion, just lead in, and they get bad. It's like, well, no, everybody need to just talk it out. Real quick.
Sometimes it get like that, and you have to take a break from each other and then do it. Because I don't work with some people that just can't articulate how they feel, so they get frustrated first, and then they can't focus on that right now because mentally they just focused on that problem. So it's like they take a step back when they ready to deal with it, and we talk about it.
No, for sure.
Now, if it's something we got to figure out, like paying the bill before something get cut off, then that's gonna get figured out. But you know, for the most part, it's cool to take a break.
So I was reading through your bio, man. I seen that you used to work under Timbaland for a little bit.
Yeah, at Thomas Crown. So
how pivotal was that for your career, man?
Super, bro. So that's what made me make a decision to focus on engineering full time.
Okay.
Because I was rapping, I think managing, producing, I owned the studio. I was just doing everything, and I came in there like I was a rapper, but I was there to be an engineer. So like just learning, like, all right, this is what an engineer is. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is your job. The technical things, you know what I mean? So that was kind of like school for me because I ain't go to school for engineering. So that was like, okay, this is the things I need to focus on. These are the people I need to be around. This is how a real engineer is, all of that type of stuff.
So it was like at that point, you like, all right, I know everything I need to do to be successful. Let me go ahead and do it now.
Yeah, start applying it.
Yeah, for before, like you said, you ain't go to school for it, so it was like maybe it was some things that wasn't clicking or making sense, and you like, all right, I'm gonna just keep my hands in everything. But mastering one thing is like super important too, because like that's why I always tell myself, I got the photography, the podcast, I got the brand now. I'm like, all right, you gotta take some time to one thing and make sure you perfecting it in that area before you move on to something else. So that's super. That's super dope, man.
If it's something you need, just hire a specialist, whoever specializes in that space.
Yeah.
Just hire them to get it done, and they'll either help you set up a system so it could be self-sufficient, or you learn their steps, and then you just try to figure out how you could do it with your own sauce. You know?
For sure. I think that's one of the biggest problems is a lot of people don't be wanting to pay. They don't want to pay to play, like for mentorship or like you got to put money in, and the money not going to come back until you put it out. That's one thing I had to learn.
Even now, bro, like if I see these young boys and it's something I don't understand or don't know, I'll be like, bro, I'll pay you to teach me.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
So I can understand what it is, because that'll help me make a decision if I want to use it or I don't want to use it, because I just want to know if it's good for me. It ain't always about stealing somebody's sauce or trying to keep up with somebody. It's about,
for sure.
Oh, this might be a good tool for me, it might not. And then once I do that, I end up learning something from them. They'll learn something from me, and we just keep building, you know.
Sure.
But I don't mind paying them anybody to help me with stuff.
It's a fair exchange for sure. So, you know, that's good that you say you can learn from a youth, because I know a lot of older guys like, man, I got it figured out, man. I'm not trying to learn from them boys. Yeah. I think staying connected to the youth and what they like to listen to, it'll keep you alive longer, because that's obviously what the beast.
Well, I was the youth that they discarded, you know? Like they didn't want to learn nothing from me. They felt like I ain't know nothing, and I wasn't going to be valuable to them. So it's like, all right.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So now you like, I'm gonna reach back. I'm gonna do what I wanted somebody like. Yeah. It'd be a lot of hate, man, because people like it don't even be hating you. They hate the consistency, your work ethic, your drive. They like, man, I want to be able to get up and do that every day too. Why ain't got? You just got to reach within yourself, man. That's why I tell people all the time. You
be honest with yourself. Just be like, nah, I'm not doing something right. And some self-love, like I did therapy and everything. So you know what I mean?
Dope.
Like,
that's dope.
You really got to focus on yourself and just really figure out what you want, you know?
Yeah. I think that's what it was for me, man. I don't know if all men deal with that, but like when I was trying to figure it out, like what it was, that I'm like, what is it? Give me some direction, God. It was just, when I couldn't figure that out, I was real confused. I was just doing anything. I just wasn't. I don't know. It's just you don't feel like you in alignment. You know what I mean?
Frustrated. Yeah, you don't know exactly what it is. I can't put my finger on it, and I don't know how to fix it. But It's there, and I need to get this shit straight.
That frustrating for that. It was very frustrating. And then when I finally got it, I was like, all right, I got it, man. I'm cool now. I'm good. Like, God, you had me the whole time, man. You had me the whole time, and I was sitting there stressing.
Yeah, and all of these feelings and emotions, they don't truly leave, bro. Like, I still deal with a lot of this stuff still to this day. It's just in different forms and different ways, but you just learn how to control it. You know, you just got to get through it. Be patient with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Was it any point that you wanted to give up on your journey? Like, man, I don't think this for me.
Yeah, man. Bro, that's something you just never get over, you know? Like, it's just like, I mean, you know it's for you, you know, and it's just like sometimes accepting what's for you is hard, or like understanding if you're supposed to grow past a point, but you'll always, even if you stick to one thing, you'll grow through that, because everything is layered. It's never like no one level to anything. So like if you're gonna build candles, you're gonna learn how to build candles. Now you're not gonna get tired of it, because you're gonna find different ways to build those candles and do different things, and different markets, different people who want different type of candles. You might have one person who want the biggest candle in the world. Now you just set a world record, and that's how that shit goes. You know what I'm saying?
So that book I read a book called Adversity and Advantage, and it's just saying every piece of adversity you run into, if you can just get on the other side of it and keep going, the advantage is going to be probably greater than the adversity was. Like you said, when you get creative, like, all right, I got to pivot a little bit. I ain't going to panic. I'm going to pivot. All right, what do I need to change? How can I service the client better? How can I get them what they need to?
That's my first train of thought when I go through something, especially in business. It's like, what could I have done to do this better, or what can I do to make this better? And moving forward, how can I not run into this problem again? Or is this a problem I'm going to consistently run through because, you know, something I can't control?
Yeah, I think that's important what you just said, because it's like when you decide, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to be an engineer, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to go to school to be a psychologist. Whatever you decide, I tell people every journey that you decide to take, somebody already did it. So it's nothing new under the moon and stars. All you got to do is, like, it's not gonna be super easy, but you don't got to reinvent the wheel. Somebody already did it. Just figure out what you got to do and start taking small steps every day. I've noticed, like, just do something. Like, maybe I uploaded one video TikTok today, but I've noticed just doing something.
You'll find your sauce within the consistency.
That's a gem right there. Definitely. Most definitely, bro.
That's how it goes. You just got to start. Once you start, you'll find it.
It'll definitely click. It's just gonna be one day. I be telling people, if you stay prayed up, if you just stay consistent, one day something is just gonna come across. You go, I've been trying to think about this for 5 months. I'll get up and jump for joy. I'm like, man, that's a good idea. That's the idea I've been looking for. Right?
Exactly, bro. It's crazy how that happened, bro. Random.
I'm sitting here watching YouTube. I jump up. I was like, man, I've been thinking. And that's when I started this clothing brand, Melanated Military. Man, because one night I was watching a clothing brand called Support Black Colleges. And they got, obviously, it's like a brand they made, like, behind the awareness of HBCUs. And I'm like, man, where else is black people underserved? Like, what? And I'm like, the military, bro. I'm like, and that's when I came up, bro. I was jumping up and down in his living room. I was asking God for that. I was like, man, I know it's something I can do right now. Like, I was like, yeah.
That's tough, bro. That's how it comes, bro. And it turns into a movement, because you got more people that feel like you. And then you just start, being the face of that movement.
No, for sure. Yeah, you start to see, like, when you work, and you be like, man, ain't nobody doing that. But when you do it, you like, everybody, man, I've been thinking about doing that, or man, I was gonna do that, or man, I was thinking about doing that too.
Ain't it crazy?
A lot of people thinking though.
Yeah.
A lot of people
mad thoughts every day. But to do it is like to pick a thought and be like, all right, I'm gonna try this out today. And I think that's kind of what Pharrell meant by, like, checking ideas out. Like, music is like a library. Every day is like having a library. It's like you checking different ideas out every day and just seeing if you do it. But if you don't never try those ideas, then you won't never know. And that's where I feel like regret comes. You forget. You regret that you didn't do, you know.
You definitely want to keep your regrets few. That was my whole thing. Like, if God steady putting it on your mind, like, I want you to be the #1 engineer in the world, you're not gonna be able to sleep until you start working towards that accomplishment. You're gonna feel uneasy every day.
Yeah, I got a young man that come in the studio say
you
that.
Like, man, bro, if I take a week off, man, I feel like I'm out of alignment. Because, bro, it's like a burning desire to get to where you want to go. Because you like, bro, I used to have a burning desire to have my own apartment. I got it. I know I can get to the next level. God didn't bring you this far to leave you.
Burning desire is what, you know, keeps you going.
On them days where you like, get up, just go, just do it.
And then when you do it, you be like, damn, I'm glad I did this shit.
I'm really him. That's what
I was really about to chill today and not do shit, but this happened, that happened, this came up, and then that led to this, and now I'm here in a whole nother state doing this and doing, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is, man. So how was it working with G Herbo, man? You know what I'm saying?
Good,
I know, because I've seen him, like, in the studio out here a few times. Like, a long time ago, I seen he was out here.
Yeah, shout out to Mike, man. That's Mike, bro. Like, shout out to Mike and Head, bro. Like, they really pushed it for us to do that. And shout out to VIPs, like that's our family. You know what I mean? That's the family. So they really pushed forward. They've been building that relationship, and when we finally got the opportunity, Zeke was already doing music with Herbo. Yeah. So like, one night he just was like, bro. Well, we did a record with my boy Rico, and it was him and Herbo, and then Zeke was making the beat. It was just one of the nights we was there making the beat. And then he was like, bro, come on. Oh, yeah. And then Herbo heard it. He was listening. He was like, load the beat up. And then, you know what I mean? From there, it was history, like, bro. So shout out to my bros, man. Like, I really appreciate the opportunity.
Nah, for sure. Load the beat up, man. And I know when you heard that, you like, man, I've been preparing for this my whole life. Yeah. That's why I say you gotta be prepared.
Like that was,
you know what I'm saying? Because you've been in them rooms before, but it's like you already know. I already know what to do. Right?
Every artist is different. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
like, it was cool, and then like, he was cool, bro. And then the way he records, his style of recording is different. And it's dope, you know what I mean? So it was a good experience.
No, most definitely. It gave you like, okay, so the next time somebody rap like that, I know what to do now, you know what I'm saying?
And it made me think of some of my clients who do rap like that.
So you like, okay, damn.
Yeah, so like niggas really still do this shit on higher levels and you know, entry levels, so you know.
So do you cool. So do you believe like starting out as an engineer, let's just say like it's somebody, he probably 15, 16, he watching this right now. Do you think they need a mentor, or give them some actionable steps that they can take to probably, you know what I'm saying, maybe start?
Reach out to it. Well, nowadays you could just DM studios and engineers. And if you, all right, so this is kind of like a good thing too, like, because in major cities you have to have like you have to be going to college and stuff like that and do like an internship or have a degree from a college to work at a major studio.
Right, gotcha.
In like the major cities versus like in our like smaller cities, you can just reach out to the engineers and studios there. 9 times out of 10, they don't have nobody to help them out. Go over there, just try to clean, just help out how you can. And just, you know, fall in love with being at the studio, and then try to get an internship and be around there and just be as helpful as you can.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Take advantage of that, because a lot of engineers don't do that. They scared to reach out to people. So even producers, even if it's not a studio, just producers, engineers, like if you see somebody that's moving and you need a mentor, try to reach out to them and try to help them out. And don't worry about the money. The money gonna come. You just gotta stay focused. You know, like, even when I was interning, when I was an intern at Timbaland studio, like you had to do whatever. Go make cookies if you need to. You got to get chips. Go to the store.
Sure. Yeah, they don't talk about this, man.
Yeah,
you talk about this.
And that stuff like helps you learn the process and just making the client comfortable. All of that stuff.
Right,
even when you go to Atlanta, we go to Tree Sounds. The interns is doing the same thing. Like. And they don't mind doing it. They humble about it. And it's not about the money. It's the opportunity and what they get to do. They don't know who you are and what you can do or bring to the table or can't. They just look at you as like, yo, you here with us. We're going to take care of you. So
that's dope, man.
That goes a long way.
That's dope, for sure.
Yeah, so definitely find a mentor.
Yeah, teaching them, like, I think that's super important, like what you said. Like, because like I said, I didn't have a mentor. Well, I did have mentors around me, but, man, my eyes was big to the money. Like, I didn't think of nothing else. I wasn't thinking about just making sure I do something or making sure the work getting done. I'm like, man, how can I get to the dollar sign?
Yeah,
then,
the money is a product of what the work you put in. That's what my mentor, Mr. Darren, always tell me.
No, for sure, it is a byproduct, bro. For sure, yeah. Because like I start to see that like it's going to come. Yeah. It's going to come when you out and you actually putting something into the world that's positive. It's got to come back.
And you got to keep mentors. Even now, I have mentors now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even at this level that I'm at. And it's not about if I've accomplished more than them or less than them. It's about what I'm there to learn, you know? And they can keep feeding that process. For sure. And it's been... everything been clicking, you know.
So how's your process when you in there, man? So do you like knock out a lot of beats back to back, or you just in there, or you just whenever you get inspired, you in there? Like how you really work for real, man? Cause every time I see you in the studio, bro, you just be looking chill, relaxed. I'm just in here. That's how they don't be. That's how every time I done seen you, bro, you just be chilling. Yeah. The first time I met you, I'm like, oh, he's just in here, just chilling.
I mean, I can go in there and I might knock out 10, 20 beats, or I might. It just depends. Like I don't know. Sometimes I just gotta wait till I get inspired. Right. But I got so many beats just backed up. I just send them out as I can, you know, and just. As I create, I send them out, but like that goes to like the discipline of it. So like I do have times where I'll do like 4 hours a week where I'll just lock in only on beats and just knock out beats. So I meet with my boy Zeke on Sundays and we'll knock out beats. Then they'll just have that producer talk and that community talk. It just depends, man. Bro. Yeah, he'll send me beats so I can, cause I'll be like, bro, send me some beats, man. I just ain't been able to make no beats. Like I need some inspiration. He'll send me some beats. And then
you'll get in that mode.
Yeah,
that's
you know
dope,
what I'm
man. That's that going back to having a team, man. If you didn't have him right there, who would you reach out to? You just in that slump for a little bit longer. You know what I mean? That's why proximity is everything. The people you keep around you. Yeah, like, bro. And then it hurt, man, when you start to reach these levels and you start to see, man. You really start to lose people that you thought was gonna be around forever, man. I think that was like one of the toughest things to deal with right now. Is like it's happening. You want to be the best to everybody, and you are being the best, but they looking at you like you ain't nothing. Like bro, for sure, man.
Yeah, it sucks, man. But you just kind of gotta keep pushing past them.
Nah, yeah, for
you know,
sure.
And people will turn around. Just don't treat them mean when they try to come back around. Don't be like, oh, well, you ain't believing me. Cause that shit gonna hit you 1,000 times harder. You know what I'm saying? Just,
nah, for sure. When you
show love, like Adam Sandler, I seen a clip with him. He was like the guy who went out and told him to never do comedy and all of that stuff. Yeah. He went out and bought him a beer one night and told him like, look, to be honest, you just don't have it. You can't do this acting shit. And when like 20 years later, he's at the height of his career and he sees the guy at a restaurant.
That's crazy.
And all his friends right there, and that's usually the time you would gloat and be like, yo, he told me I won't. He's like, nah, that's the only teacher that bought me a beer. Right. You know what I'm saying? Made him look cool in front of everybody. Right. You know what I'm saying? And just played it. Because it's not about the get back. It's just about the love, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a level of maturity that you got to get to in business as well, because it definitely takes a lot of emotional intelligence to be able to be like, all right, I'm gonna let you have it for sure. I'm gonna let you have it, and I hope God continue to bless you, bro. Yeah. We just can't stay rocking, man.
Yeah, and you got like I said, I'm not perfect, so it's not like it's not moments where you want to explode and do stuff. And sometimes you do it, and you got to clean that mess up. But you know, the best way to do it is just to control your emotions, man.
Yeah, so you don't got to backtrack, because once you say something, it's already said. No matter how many times you say sorry afterwards, you know,
it's hard, bro.
And you like, I'm better than that. That's what really eating you up.
I do that. I do that shit sometimes, bro. And that shit be like, fuck.
I'm better than that, man. Right. Has there any part? If you can go back, man, and do anything different along the journey that you've had so far, is there anything that you would do differently, man? Or better? Or if you could be like, bro, work harder right here.
I wouldn't have smoked. I probably would. Okay. I would have not picked up the smoking weed addiction. Yeah, that shit is hard. And eating like a motherfucker. That studio eating habits.
The environment of the studio. Yeah,
I would not. I would probably like keep some gym equipment. I would have worked out more, but outside of that, nah, bro. I appreciate everything I went through.
Prioritizing your health more, man. That's a good gym, bro. Yeah, for sure. Because that's important.
And thank God nothing is wrong. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That's just something now. It's just a little harder to get it off and to stay more consistent with it.
Because you're busy all the time. Now it's not a routine. You got to kind of force yourself through it.
So I wish I would have fell in love with that a little earlier. But other than that, For sure, bro.
Yeah, man.
I thank God for it all.
Man, dope. This was a dope interview, man.
Thank
My
you,
boy
bro.
Biggz, man. I appreciate you coming out, bro.
It won't be the last, bro.
Nah,
we
for
got
sure,
mad
man.
stories
We gonna
we
build.
can tell,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we gonna build some more for sure, man. But
this was fire.
Yeah, for sure. Just for the last question, man. If you want to lead the people with a quote, something to inspire them, or just something that's been on your mind to motivate the people, real quick before we get out of here.
Just stay consistent in the most perfect and positive way. Anything y'all do or you call for your life or you call on you, just make sure you say in the most perfect and positive way. Because the power is in the tongue. And if you ask for things, you got to be careful how you ask for it.
Man, that's a gem right there, man.
Yeah, bro.
This was definitely a dope interview, man. This wraps up season 3 of Abundant Behavior, man. This was the season finale with my boy Biggz.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah,
season 3, too? Okay.
Yeah, we going crazy, man. Yeah. So I've most definitely been really consistent. I want you guys to tune in more. I'm going to be dropping a lot more videos. I'm going to be doing a couple by myself, but we always going to have the interviews on Sunday. So you guys stay tuned for the next one because we only going to be getting better.
Yes, sir.